Hey, welcome to the show. We got Jason joining us today. He's going to share his passion for recovery with us today and kind of how life looks today. So, you want to give a shout out to all the listeners?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah,
Jason Bourgeois here, recovering addict and alcoholic and all that good stuff. Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure, and bear with me. I'm a little nervous, but we'll get through this.
Oh, we're gonna do great. So
Okay.
you're gonna do
Okay.
great. So thanks for sharing your time with us today. Little fun fact or quirky fact about Jason. Jason likes to write poetry. He's been doing it for a long time. He's also done open mics. He's looking at getting his own YouTube channel up on the go here, so support that, guys. There'll be links in the notes there that you guys will be able to follow him and help show your support, right? So, all right, Jason. So let's get this show on the go. One thing I'd like to do with every episode, and what's one thing you're grateful for today and why?
I'm going to have to say one thing that I'm grateful for is um, freedom from the chains of addiction. I have a nice routine that I do every day that I using doesn't even it doesn't cross my mind as an option. I've built a life that I don't have to escape from. I enjoy doing stuff like going to the gym and boxing and swimming and running and poetry and meetings and yeah, just having a good healthy routine and working on my health, both mentally, physically, spiritually, all that stuff. So
Awesome.
freedom.
That's exciting. Yeah, a funny story is my 1 year tattoo, my recovery tattoo says freedom.
Nice, nice.
And that's where it's at,
Yep.
right? So, um, what was your childhood upbringing like?
Ah, wow, right to the good stuff, eh?
We give
Yeah.
let's paint a picture for the guests, right?
Okay. Yeah, it was. I mean, if I were to say that it was unstable and unfortunate, that would be pretty accurate. My grandma was in, and my mom was in those residential schools, and my grandpa was in the war. My grandma and grandpa had a lot of trauma between them, and there's a lot of alcoholism and addiction issues in my family. It's kind of prevalent. Yeah, my father wasn't around. My mom had issues with alcohol. I First 3 years of my life wasn't going that well. A lot of abandonment, neglect, and stuff like that. So um, I think by the time I was 3 or 4, I was put in foster care. I don't know if I was taken from my mom or put in care for my own good, but it is what it is. And after that, between the ages of 3 and 6, I was bounced around a few times. I remember getting comfortable in places and then being uprooted and not knowing why. So there was definitely some safety issues, feeling unstable and feeling what's wrong with me? Why does anybody want me? So that kind of affected my affects me today. It affects me today actually in my relationships and stuff. I'm working through it. I got some childhood stuff to to work through, but it is what it is. I I'm definitely affected by my past, but I'm also responsible for my future. I can't sit around licking my wounds forever. I have to actually do the work and heal and grow and not let that stuff define me. And so yeah, I've been doing a lot of that in the last few years. But yeah,
Do you have any siblings?
I have two older sisters. Um, yeah,
When you moved around, did you was it the whole family that moved around, or did
um,
you move on your own?
I lived with my one sister. Yeah, it was sporadic, but my one sister lived with me and my auntie and uncle for from the age of about 6 to 12, and then she went to Edmonton with her father, and well, he was kind of a father figure to me too. But yeah, I was very like I said, unstable, unfortunate. There was love there, but there was also a bit of sternness, and don't want to get too much into that, but yeah, it's hard to kind of put it on, like it's so sporadic and you know what I mean. So it's but yeah, it started out acting out at a young age. I realized that any attention was good attention. I um I was always the class clown or that kid that parents warn their kids to not be. Yeah,
Mhm.
bullying, freaking graffiti, experimenting with drugs and alcohol. I spent more time in the principal's office than I did in the classroom. I think in my elementary school. Um, but yeah, they say that the first 6 or 7 years of a child's life are detrimental to forming their core beliefs and how they fit into the world and stuff. And I was kind of unstable foundation to begin with. So I kind of that's just the way it went.
You can see how that, yeah, like rolls into as you get older, right?
Yeah,
Like being able to look back and see the connection in it,
yeah.
right?
I'm really noticing even in day to day stuff. Like I've done a lot of healing and growing and stuff, but I still have attention seeking, validation stuff, people pleasing, um, codependency in friendships and relationships, and even just like yeah, I still got some stuff that I'm looking at day. Like I'm noticing it day to day, and I'm just awareness is the first part of it.
Mhm.
So um, progress, not perfection. So, um, but yeah, life is good as these days. So
Awesome. Yeah, it's a journey. Like there is no rush. Like I found like, it takes years. And the guests have heard me say this one lots before is that feeling face chart that you find on your like feeling face chart with all the different
yeah,
feelings. That sat on my fridge for a year.
yeah,
And I had to go over and like identify every time with it
yeah,
over and over to be able to kind of see my inner works or my
yeah.
insights, how it worked, right?
Yes.
How old were you when you did your first drink and or drug?
Oh wow. Well, I actually, it's funny that I acted up so much in elementary school that I had to see a psychologist, and there was whisperings that I could have possibly FASD or ADD or ADD or PCP or DVD or MP3. I just can't have this bug. But yeah, I don't know if I mean, I've never been diagnosed with anything, but it would explain a few things. Um, but yeah, my earliest drinking, from what I heard, I was still a toddler. I think I used to run around when my mom and uncles and people were drinking around, and I would go take drinks out of people's bottles, and they thought it was funny to watch me slob around and puke around. And when I was a toddler, I don't know if that's not healthy, but it's just the way I grew up. Um, but yeah, I was experimenting with alcohol and drugs in elementary school. I remember I got suspended in grade 4 or 5 for bringing a six pack to school and smoking weed and cigarettes and stuff. I was still 8, 9, 10 years old. Um, yeah, I um, the experimentation was always there, but things didn't really get bad until I was about 16. My mom passed away. Went to live in Prince George with my uncle, and yeah, I got introduced to the hood and selling this and that, and selling cigarettes at school and drinking lots, and yeah, I the rest writes itself. I got introduced to crack cocaine when I was about 19, 20. I was still in high school, and I loved it, sadly. And then that kicked my ass for most of my 20s, and then crystal meth came around in my 30s, and then oh, it was all bad. Like it's yeah. So so there's always been something. Um,
How old are you today? Just so we can kind of.
I'll be 39 in June.
Oh, we're the same age.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I've been lived in Prince George most half my life. Been here the other half. And it's true what they say. Wherever you go, there you are. It's like I thought I was gonna run from Prince George and stop getting in trouble, and then I just found it here. So it's like I spent a majority of my life either in jail or on the streets or in lost in addiction. And I had my shit. I had my stuff together for a few years every now and then, but not it didn't never lasted. But yeah, so
makes sense. What were some of your bottoms? So when you started the crack in your 20s, you said, and then the meth
oh,
in your 30s. Like, what were some bottoms? When did
just
you?
the constant jail time, just the in and out all the time. Like I've never done long times. Like the longest I ever did was 9 months, I think. But I was in for 4 months, then back out, then in for 2 weeks, then in for 5 months and 4 months. It's just like it was just constantly in like a recycle, like a revolving door. And oh, the amount of times that I freaking almost died is just sickening, but it's also kind of amazing. Like some of the things that I've been through, car accidents and stabbings and beatings and freaking MRSA and pneumonia. I didn't take care of myself. I wasn't suicidal, but I didn't really care about living either. I've been on death's door many times, and yeah, it's just what was the question again? I'm getting off topic.
Just
Some of my bottoms.
some
Oh
of your
man.
bottoms. Like, what were some of your bottoms? And then I got a
Oh
follow up question after that one.
yeah. Oh, just some like how physically sick and injured sometimes I got myself. Like I remember this one time. Like I had ulcers since I was in high school, and it was just from a life of just stress and worry and bad diet and spicy food and drugs, just everything. And I actually got so bad that my stomach ruptured. And yeah, I ended up in the hospital. And I came to, and I remember I had a IV in each arm. I had tube up my nose, tube down my throat, drainage tube out of my stomach, one up my piss hole. Just freaking like, I literally was like the bionic man. I was living on IV, like living on saline and nutrients for 11 days. I couldn't eat or drink anything. I sat in that hospital bed and I wasted away to nothing. I was like 125 pounds. Like I'm 200 pounds now. So imagine me, 75 pounds lighter. Like it was very sick, like sad. It was, yeah, like I said, I've had MRSA. I freaking had pneumonia. I've been beaten and stabbed and been in car accidents and just very precarious situations. And yeah, I just lived in like there was many rock bottoms, but I feel like I lived in a state of rock bottom for months at a time. Jail saved my life more than a few times. I um, would go there to fatten up for a few weeks, meet some new people, and then I'd get back out and do it all over. And then yeah, I mean, rock bottoms are so it was a sad existence. And on one day I just kind of as cliche as it sounds, got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And yeah, I remember sitting at Churchill one day, and just everything caught up with me. The constant jail time, the constant just I, the only two phrases going through my head were I don't like who I am, and I don't like how I'm living. And I just cried and I cried, and I just something either broke in me that day or something. Maybe it was a God shot or a spiritual weight. Like, something happened, and I maybe that was my step one. I was powerless, and but yeah, that's when I started thinking about giving the idea of sobering up some thought. And
In any of those times, did you ever think like the drugs were causing the problems, or
oh yeah, I remember at times I would roam the streets, just tired, hungry, alone, terrified. You know, chasing something that wanted to kill me, wanted that made me everything that I didn't want to be, and I was literally powerless. And you know, for a long time, I thought that the drugs and alcohol were a coping mechanism or a cure or a band aid. And sooner or more, like I realized that they were the issue, and I was powerless to it. And yeah, man, it's a scary place to be, knowing that I'm pursuing something that's killing me and I can't stop. It was like, yeah, it just something had to give, and I did. So
it's funny, like, and you probably know this now, like with the clean time you got, is that the drugs were the problem, and then you get clean, and then over time you realize like the drugs aren't the problem; they're just kind of a symptom of the disease,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did you ever try to clean up on your own?
Um, yeah, it didn't last. I remember I used to have little temper tantrums when I was in addiction, and I used to like I was smoking meth or whatever at the time, and then I remember I'd do all my drugs, and then I would look at my pipe, and I hate you, you're ruining my life, and I'd smash my pipe, and then I'd huff and puff for a few days, and then I'd go right back and buy a new one. It was just like a little sad cycle that I used to do just to, you know, I. But yeah, it's when you're living the life and you're stuck in that around the people and the places and the things, it's very hard to get away from it because it's all you know. So I did. I've done more than a few detoxes and treatment centers. I've had a few bouts of sobriety. First time I tried, I had like 6 months, and then another time I had 11 and a half months, and then this time I'm currently sober longer than I've ever been. I just took 2 years last week, or two. I think it was April 3rd. I think so.
Awesome,
I think
congratulations.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's exciting, and it's I am a little bit in uncharted water, so it's exciting, but it's yeah, it's just I'm on an exciting adventure, and it's getting better every day. So
My thoughts is, and this is just my opinion, right? And that's all it is that like your 2 year cake is the hardest one to get. Like that was the
yeah,
trickiest one for me. Like the first year, you know what, happens so quick, and there's so
yeah,
much changing, and we get so much stuff back. That 1 to 2 years when you actually take everything you learn
yeah.
and you put it into practice and start kind of living life on life's term. And I think if you can make it to that second year, you can make it to as
Yeah,
long as you want.
yeah, those first 30, 60, 90 days are huge. Like those are the ones that are in that first year. I mean, it scared me my first time. I was at 11 and a half months, and I don't know, something about getting that 1 year freaking made it real, made it like it was not, it's not just something that I'm trying out. It's not something that I'm just like a fad that I'm like, it was like, I am really doing this and I'm going to, and yeah, I was actually at that time, I thought I knew what I was doing. I still didn't, I'm not even sure if I know what I'm doing right now, but I know a couple things about a couple things, but not a lot about a lot. But yeah, my first year I was doing enough to stay sober. I was doing poetry and the gym and not really meetings, but I was in school. Um, had a girlfriend and all that stuff, and I thought I was doing enough to stay busy, but like they say, resentments in relationships will take you out faster than anything. And I got in a relationship that I wasn't ready for, and I used that as an excuse to go back out. And it's kind of funny. I talked to a counselor about this, and like I'm not blaming anybody for anything, but because I'm the one that relapsed, but she says that I subconsciously selected a not questionable or unhealthy woman, but like somebody with that had some stuff going on, knowing that it was going to fail, so I could sabotage it, so that I could use it as an excuse to go back out. Like that's how cunning and baffling and powerful my addiction was. It was planning it before I even knew it was, and it was like, so I'm on the lookout for that. You know,
I'm going to take us back just for a second here. So we're going to get into this. We're going to switch. We're going to shift over to the recovery aspect here.
okay.
What was it like at the end of your addiction this time around? Like, where were you at in your life? And then how did you end up in rehab this time and what was different?
Yeah, like I've been doing this recovery thing for most of my 30s, like probably since the last 5 or 6 years. I've gotten way more clean time in the last 6 years than I have using time. But yeah, it's been a learning process. I've just taken a few relapses to kind of, like, I'm not saying telling people to relapse, but because they say relapse is a part of recovery. But if you can learn from other people's mistakes, that's probably a better thing to do. But yeah, it's taken a few hiccups and a few setbacks to really see where I need to improve on it and work on. And yeah, I completed. It took me 2 tries to do the Salvation Army Transformations program. That's one of the most intensive in the country, as far as I'm told. And then I did Recovery Acres. I did them back to back. That's how I got to 11 and a half months. And I've done detox more than a few times, and I've done a lot of personal development. Even in jail, my last time I was in for 9 months, like I said, and yeah, I started really. I went to this boot camp unit. It's like a military inspired um, unit where they do wake you up every day, you make your bed, you do PT, you do go to school, and they have meetings, and they have like it's you don't kill time, you fill time. Like, and I went to Norquest in there, and I got 91% in nutrition and wellness, and also 91% speaking and presenting, and I really found, like, I really took a lot from there. Um, like attention to detail and discipline and structure, and taking pride in my work and stuff like that. And I really, it probably, that's one of the things that I have to give credit for was that time in jail. And yeah, so I'm getting off topic here. What did my last
Well,
recovery?
I just kind of want to recap. So I'm going to try and sum this up or recap this a little bit. 2 years ago, like 2 years
Oh
ago,
yeah,
you
this
got in.
last just like I said, I lost that to 11 and a half months. I went back out for about half a year. I was starting to get back into crime and binning and breaking into cars and fraud and all that stuff, and that's what a lot of my stuff was for in jail. I was in jail for that stuff, and then yeah, um, I just wanted to. I missed it. I missed it because I tasted the good life for 11 and a half months, and I liked who I was. And I remember when I lost that 11 and a half months, man. Oh, it was. I felt it. Like, I was proud of it. I used to meet people at meetings and be like, "Hi, my name's Jason. I got 11 and a half months." Just that was my whole freaking like. And then when I lost that, I felt like I lost a part of me, kind of. And then I missed who I was. Yeah, and I just wanted it back. And I was heading down a dark, dangerous road, but then a friend of mine actually seen that I was struggling, and he reached his hand out and said, "Yo, man, come join the winning team again. Get back on track." And then yeah, I went to detox at the Spady, I think, and then right from there, I just went back and went into a Harmony House, and then yeah, I was there for 16 and a half months, 16 months, and then I've been in Keystone until up to now. So yeah, I've got all the tools. I don't know everything. I know a little bit about a little bit, but um, yeah. So I'm just that's it. I just kind of
One thing that you said there that really stood out to me, and I'm gonna remember this is I didn't fill time, or I didn't kill time. I filled time, right?
yeah,
And that just really resonated with me. So I think that's something I'm gonna remember
yeah,
moving forward, right?
yeah.
Your first year, what was the hardest part, or what part did you?
Um,
Actually, let's change it.
yeah, no, no, no. Which year? Because I almost had a year twice, so it's like,
Well, I want to go off this time here. So to recap, you did the 11. You had 11
oh
months,
yeah,
11 and a half
that
months. How long was your relapse between the 11 and a half months, your little period of relapse, and then back into the
oh,
program?
it was as soon as I moved into Harmony House, I was encouraged to go to meetings and had to do step questions, and so I was kind of thrown right back into the recovery scene. So there was between 11 and a half and now, there was only about a half a year gap.
So 6 months was
Yeah,
your
and
relapse.
I it's weird. Yeah, it was right around COVID too that I got back into sobriety. Um, so yeah, that was kind of. I mean, it was almost a blessing. Like I was forced to stay at home, and well, we had a backyard that I would work out at, punching bag around, and go to a few meetings here and there that were open. Um, but yeah, COVID didn't really affect me that much. Like I mean, it's if you can stay sober during COVID, you can do anything. It's a very hard time for everybody. I'm glad that's somewhat over. So, but
What were some of your goals you set there when you first came back from your relapse?
uh, um, I wanted to get healthy again. I lost a lot of weight again. Yeah, spiritually I was disconnected and lost, and was I ever heartbroken over that relationship, and yeah, I was yeah, I just wanted to get back to who I used to be, and even like not even just get back to it, but then go farther and progress into somebody I've never been before. Um, yeah, I missed performing. I actually I created a men's group in jail. It's called Real Talk. It's just a place where guys get together and talk about their stuff in a safe place. And I'm a big advocate for guys getting not intimate, but like emotionally comfortable and intimate with each other. And I think that's a huge part of like there seems to be a stigma that guys don't open up to each other, and we keep our facade and our ego and all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, I have no problem. It's kind of a task to get guys comfortable with each other. I was doing it at the Salvation Army once every year, every week for a year. I would go there on my own time, on my own dime, and go talk to the guys in treatment and just create like a men's group is what it is. Um, that's something that I'm looking into. Like I'll probably speak with you later about this. Um, yeah, I just want to create something that I needed when I was struggling, and I'm not I'm not a pioneer or anything. I think a lot of people are getting away from that toxic. Like men should still be men, but we shouldn't be ashamed to be human. Like we go through stuff too. So I think if we can just make it more not cool but acceptable to just pull someone aside and say, "Listen, man, I'm struggling. Can we have a real talk?" And just be like, that's it, and create healthy connections and stuff. Um, but yeah, that's one of my goals is building my men's group, and my poetry is it's I'm working with somebody to get published here through a church that I'm involved with, and even that too, I'm trying to find myself spiritually. I got goals on personal training. I got 100 goals. I want to be a motivational speaker, presenter. I want to even talk about anti-bullying and stuff like that. The sky's the limit, and if I wasn't sober, I wouldn't have these opportunities or even these ideas. Um, but yeah, so
Did you write your goals down?
I do actually. I actually every couple of weeks I'll revisit them, and I'll write them down, and then I'll put stars beside the ones that I think should happen right away. Prioritize them, but actually doing them is another thing. It's another thing to um, but yeah, just even small stuff like yeah, get my learners. I've driven, but it's not legally. Um, yeah, I got a bunch of goals that I need to work on, and even starting the YouTube channel I think would be ideal. Even like I think one of the one of the biggest tragedies in life is dying with your magic still inside you. And I think like there's so much creativity and passion and stuff that's that's buried in addiction, but like addicts are very intelligent, creative, passionate people, but we're so well. I can't speak for all of us, but I say I was very broken and very insecure and very just buried in all that negativity and stuff. So having the freedom to really put yourself out there. I'm not trying to change the world or anything, but I just want to make a difference, you know. Um, so yeah, I goals. I got several that I'm working on. Next, want to get in. I want to get back to work. I was doing landscaping for a while. Um, I want to get independent. Like I'm living in sober living establishment still, which is whatever it takes to stay sober. No competition or rush or anything. It's just some people stay um, in sober living houses for a few years. Like it's just I don't want to jump out or get. I don't want to go independent before I'm ready and redo what I did before. So I just want to just be very aware of where my thoughts are and my emotional regulation and my emotional intelligence and all this stuff. So make sure I'm ready. I don't want to, you know, count my chickens before they're hatched or whatever they say. Or but yeah, yeah. So
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. What do you do for fun and recovery today?
uh, I just started. Like I'm one of those people that when I get excited about something, I go hard, I go all in and I go hard. Um, I just started running at the gym. Like I take my pre-workout, put my headphones on, and I run. I like swimming. I joined boxing just down the street. I don't know if I'll ever be in a pro fight or even spar, but I'm just getting in shape and it gives me something to do. I still go to a lot of meetings. I go perform poetry at least once or twice a week. Um, yeah, spend time with friends and family. I like doing stuff like this. I like to. Sports are huge. Like I actually want to start something. Maybe we could talk about this later, but I was involved with this one fellowship, and they have something called Fun and Recovery, which is like just people get together and do sports and go on walks and stuff. And I think that is so crucial for people, especially in early recovery, to to find healthy things to do and to connect with other people that are sober. And as much as the 12 steps and the meetings and the program and sponsoring and all that stuff is huge, very important part of recovery. I think so is fitness and fresh air and friends and connection and hobbies and interests and I think that's so I'm going to try maybe this summer try and create some sort of sober summer sports social club or something or just whatever. But like all fellowships, all clean times, just no just it is just all welcome. Um, yeah, just get people together and just get people soccer games, basketball games, walks, picnics, freaking even getting together and giving food out to homeless people that might need it or clothing or and just doing healthy good things that make you feel good about yourself and it's just it's everything started out as an idea. They say yeah, it's just I'm a thinker, I'm a dreamer. I have big goals and aspirations and just yeah, like you said, writing down goals and breaking them down into steps and how to do them. um, I have the potential, I have the opportunities, I have the connections and mentors and stuff. I just have to just do it. Like and Nike had it right the whole time. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'll fail and learn some lessons, and if it succeeds, then cool.
Yeah.
So
It's about giving back too, right? Like
yeah,
I can hear the energy in your voice and the excitement about giving back to the community, right?
yeah,
And that's kind of where it's at.
yeah,
There's one like some of the questions I like to ask you is like, what's a life motto? I'll get you to answer that one here shortly. One of mine is, don't be a person of success, be a person of value.
yes,
And that's kind of what trying to go with this is to like create value or create
yeah,
encouragement, things like that.
yeah.
So yeah, what are some life mottos you got?
Oh, yeah, I wish I would have bring. I have hundreds of them. I can't think of any now, but um, yeah, you got me stumped on this one. But no, I'm huge into like mottos and sayings and quotes and stuff, and I'm pooping the bed right now. I can't think of it. You got me on the spot here. But yeah, there's yeah, just even keep it simple. Just like small steps in the right direction are better than big ones in the wrong direction. Like I used to think that I had to do everything all in one day. I had to freaking, um, but yeah, even like I had this unrealistic expectation that um, I had to fix my life and catch up in a short time and make up for lost time. But um, I got out of the habit of trying to compare myself to others or play catch up or live up to other people's expectations. And yeah, just my first year of recovery was I was doing all these things because I thought that's what people in recovery did. Like And now I'm just doing things that I enjoy and make me feel good. And like I was talking about the childhood stuff with people pleasing and validation seeking and all that stuff. And um, I notice when I try too hard, people can smell it and they sense it on you, and it comes off as needy or desperate, and it kind of lowers your vibration a little bit. But when you walk into a room and you're just content with yourself and good, people they're attracted to that, and they follow suit, and they make you feel more comfortable. But yeah, I've just slowed down. I try and stay humble and grateful, and just for like I remember the days I used to pray for what I had now. Like I'm it's been a long time since I've been content and grateful and almost excited and hopeful for the future. Like it's like the world is in rough shape right now, but I'm great. It's kind of it's just yeah. I don't let I try not to let the outside stuff that I can't control get in my head and rob me of my inner peace. Like we were talking the other day about our values and what makes us feel whole. And my sobriety and my peace of mind is my top priority right now. Um, yeah. So I mean,
That's awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
one of mine that I'm working on is gratitude, right?
yeah,
So I just made this sign like kind of crafty, right? And I just took this piece of Bristol board and I'm gonna you'll see it eventually, but every day I'm gonna be going over and writing on one thing that I'm grateful
yeah,
for every single morning just to
yeah.
start my day off in that state of mind, right?
Yes, and there's so much power in words. Like I have a gratitude list that I've got about a page full of stuff, and I add to it every whenever when I go through it, and even affirmations and stuff. I don't do them as much as I could, but you literally cannot be in a bad mood when you're grateful. Like it's there's no it's like you
It just
can't
doesn't
yeah
compute
you
in the
can't
mind,
yeah you
right? Like
can't be like the world yeah just yeah you can't you just yeah you can't be in two sets two minds at the same time.
I get what you're
But
saying.
but yeah it's yeah I'm running out of the
I got a question for you here.
yeah.
So going through army, everything now, and going through the things you have, and this one's important to me, and this is why I'm asking this is structure. Like,
Oh
how
yeah.
important is
Oh
structure to your recovery today?
oh wow. I used to think that I didn't like being told what to do. I was rebellious, but now I feel like I thrive when I have structure and that's all. That's like self discipline is the foundation for success. Like I'm whether it's working on your diet or quitting smoking or procrastination or whatever. It's self discipline is a key. Like it is yeah some like the correlation between being sober and having structure is that's for me anyways. That's a big part of my success. Like um what do they say? Idle hands, idle hands are the devil's playground. So when I'm left to my own devices, I'm kind of that's where I get a bit squirrely sometimes. And but also you see that your values set your trajectory for life. You know, like so. Just really getting to know myself, and once all the masks fall away, all the freaking ego and superficial stuff and all that, really finding out who I am and what's important to me. Yeah, it's taken a while. I'm still like as one of my things that I do like to say is that as much as I'm in recovery, I'm in discovery of who I really am. And you know, if you had asked me a few years ago or told me that I'd be writing poetry and having a men's group where I talk about my feelings and doing yoga and drinking herbal teas, I would have been like, no, the chance, no way, that's square, that's freaking weak, you know. But I guess that's I know that's who I was this whole time. And yeah, I'm all that jail and drugs and gangs and streets and the crime and all that stuff. It was just a mask. It was all survival tactic. It was just I was never I'm not a mean spirited or hurtful person. I try not to be anyways. Um yeah, it was survival and it was fear and anger and it was just everything. But when all that stuff falls away, I'm good. You know, like I have good intentions. So um
Doesn't it
I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm making adjustments where needed, and that's all I can do. So
isn't it amazing to be able to look in the mirror and like be your authentic self and people will still gravitate towards you or you can still have friends being authentic. Like you don't have to be
yeah,
somebody we're not today,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a freedom in it too. Like
Mm-hmm.
I trying to play keep up or trying to do a comparison thing or whatever. It's so draining and exhausting and unfulfilling, and it's just it's it's a setup for disappointment. Like yeah, I don't know. It's just it is what it is. But,
I got a few more questions for you here.
right.
Do you have any role models in your life today or mentors?
Um, yeah, I've got more than a few mentors, and I have a sponsor that I should probably spend more time with. But yeah, yeah, I like going to meetings, and I like they say you have two ears, two eyes, and one mouth, so I should observe and listen more than I speak sometimes. Um, but yeah, I like to get a feel for people through their shares, and not only that, even the way they conduct themselves outside the rooms. I I have a lot of people like I have a lot of mentors and stuff that I could utilize probably a bit more, but at the same time, I like to see what I'm capable of too. So it's like um, any specific mentors. I'm big into hip hop. I like a lot of I don't know if you want to call it emo hip hop or whatever, but like
I've never heard that
Eminem
before.
is good. I like NF. I like Chris Webby is good. Like I don't know. I could go on for days and days about my musical influences, but yeah, even sometimes I'll go to an open mic and then I'll just see somebody playing guitar and singing and just in their element, lost in the music and just like and that inspires me too. Like I just like seeing people just in their element, doing what they love to do. Um, but yeah, that's about it. So,
I want to ask you this one since you're into the poetry and everything. How important is it pen to paper? Like, what are the
oh,
perks or the benefits when you actually physically write stuff down?
oh, it's magic. It's therapy. It's so easy to think about things, but once you actually put it down, that- whether it's good or bad, it loses its power sometimes. Like if you have a resentment or you're thinking about something and you write it down, it feels like some of the energy gets taken and put on the paper, and sometimes it's easier to say things on through letter than it is to say in person because I have issues with conflict resolution and not confrontation, but like I don't like confrontation and stuff. I'm kind of not passive aggressive, but I'm kind of just the way I was raised. I just yeah, I like to keep the peace, be a good behavior, all that stuff.
I get
But
it.
yeah, it's easier to write things out sometimes than it is to say to people. So, but yeah, there's huge power in pen to paper. Um, even talking, like you were, that's the power of meetings is hearing something. Like I went to a meeting before here, and I was actually gonna bypass it to come here, but then something told me to go to that meeting, and it was a phenomenal meeting. Like it was, there's something magical about it. Like it was just a good group of people. Shares were very heartfelt and genuine, and it was magic. Like it was good. So
Cool.
yeah.
This one I asked, like, is there someone you want to meet and why? Is there somebody in your life you'd like to meet?
Oh wow, that's I watch a lot of podcasts. Well, mostly Joe Rogan, and um, I've seen him talk to Russell Brand, and I've seen like I want to meet people that like there's something about not celebrities, but just like I've watched a few even Elon Musk. Like there's a couple people that are just phenomenal in life, and they know some secrets and they know some what life is really about. And I would just like to yeah pick their brain for a bit and just see um, yeah I like meeting people in general. Everybody's interesting in their own aspect. Everybody knows something about something, whether they're creative, music, art, food, sports, fit. Like everybody has their own little thing that they know. So I think the more people that you can meet and interact with, yeah. So
I agree with that. Like, hey, I gotta choose my words wisely on this one. Like, we're all equal, but we're not created equal, if that makes sense. You know, like we all bring something,
yeah,
all different gifts to the table, right?
and yeah. What was I gonna say here? Yeah, they talk about principles before personalities, and sometimes like I'm in a meeting and there's somebody that I'm not just don't drive with, but still to keep an open mind and listen to them. Um, sometimes people that you expect the least from can just say something that'll just blow your mind wide open, and it's like so practicing that, patience and humility and acceptance of everybody, no matter right or wrong, whether you like them or not. It's um, something that I'm working on, and I learned another thing when I see something in somebody that I don't like, it's usually a reflection of something that I don't like about myself or something that I'm envious of. So everybody either teaches you a lesson or they're a blessing, or I, they say everyone's in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, or something like that. But yeah, there is something to be seen in everybody. There's something. Everybody has something to offer. So
Okay, so I got one last question here, and then this one might be a little bit tricky. How hard is it to quiet your
oh, oh,
mind?
I freaking am the like I'm constantly in thought, like almost to a fault. Like um I have trouble, not trouble, but I meditation could be something that I could look on to calm. Like I'm constant chitter chatter, constant thoughts, things I should have said, things I wish I said, things I didn't wish I didn't happen, things I wish happened. And it's a constant reel of just it's not static, but just constantly going. Um, but yeah, I think learning to do self care and just quiet. Like I feel I'm one of those people that's constantly has to be doing something, some sort of stimulation, whether it's going to the gym or watching TV or music or cooking or just any, like I'm always doing something. And to actually just sit and just be still and just that's something I would like to work on. But there's a freedom in it, and they say that prayer is speaking to your higher power, and meditation is listening for the answers. So yeah, I'm yeah, like I said, there's probably some ADHD or ADD going on. Like I'm constantly in thought. Um, some of it good, some of it bad, like resentments and stuff. We were talking about those today, and it's just yeah, just learn to let those go because they're like a cancer for your soul. Like um yeah, just try and fill my mind with good, positive, grateful stuff that's going to move me forward, not stewing in the past or but yeah,
Awesome. Well, I think that's pretty much going to wrap us up here.
nice.
What's something you'd love to leave with the listeners? You want to take us home or take us
Oh
out?
yeah, these newcomers that are going to be listening, or just anybody.
It's going to be anybody. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
who.
don't know. Just I
What's
just
something you want everyone to remember?
um, just maybe just slow down and take it easy on yourself. I used to beat myself up over just everything, overthinking and shame and guilt and remorse for all the stuff that I did when I was in addiction. And you know what? We're not bad people. We just made bad decisions. So yeah, find a higher power. Um, get involved in service and the 12 steps. I mean, 12 steps are phenomenal. It's been around for 100 years and it's helped millions of people. But I mean, my big thing in recovery is it's balance. It's about finding what works for you, finding healthy ways to spend your time, meeting like-minded, healthy people, setting boundaries, um, and just work on yourself. Like believe in yourself, figure out why you are the way you are, and just like it's going to be a roller coaster. That first year or two is going to be turbulence. There's going to be a lot of tears and a lot of uncomfortable stuff, but just stick it out. It's worth it. Um, I wouldn't trade my. It's cliche to say, but what do they say? My best day using is. What was I say?
Yeah, I never trade my worst day.
Yeah, my worst day sober is better than my best day using. It's true. Yeah, and gratitude is huge. Like I'm grateful for like that I live in Canada, that I have free healthcare, that I have electricity and Wi-Fi and food in the fridge and like clean socks. And it's just like I remember days when I didn't have like I was in rough shape, and now I I'm very content, so to say the
Nice.
least. Um, yeah, you mind if I share a poem with you guys on the way out or what?
Absolutely. Share with us.
All right, this one is the first one I ever wrote. I wrote it in jail. I just started getting some thoughts in my head, and I just started writing them down. And this one is it's called "Let's Go." All right, it goes like this: It can be a sad world that we live in some days, in the shackles of addiction. To the drugs we were slaves. Those days don't define us. Those days are behind us. Now we unite and see clearly, no longer living in blindness. I'm no better than you. You know better than me. I want the same things as you, to be happy and be free. Not just free from these walls or free from this jail. I want to be free from the booze, the crime, and the flail. I'm going to be straight with you. My life has gone off its track, but as sure as I'm writing this, I will get it back. I'm tired of seeing a stranger in the mirror. I'm tired of the guilt. I'm tired of the fear. There's one thing I know, it's that life is too brief. No longer will I be the reason for my family's sorrow and grief. I'm not a bad person. I've simply made poor decisions. Support, positivity, and encouragement are now my main visions. Let's use our baggage as fuel. To our garbages, set fire. Our change, growth, and potential is what I now truly desire. I hope you all get something from these words that I write. It's your hope, passion, and drive that I hope to ignite. In this hard knock life, resilience is key. And don't ever let anybody tell you what you won't or can't be. So I'm going on a journey, and you all are invited. The great part about it is that our wrongs may be righted. Now, the show is about to start, but we're not sitting front row, for we are the stars of it. So come on now, let's go.
Awesome.
All right,
Nice.
all right. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure and an honor, and hope I did all right. Hope you guys took something from it. Um,
You did great, Jason. And for the rest of you guys, if you want to know, I'm going to leave some notes, or I'm going to leave a spot that you guys can connect with Jason too in the notes section, so you can follow up, check out more poetry, show some love, show some support. That would be great. And I will leave you guys the same way I leave out with every other episode: is make lots of memories, take lots of pics, and show the world your smile. Thanks for sharing your time with us today. Bye.